is my daughter's little Suzuki LT80. It's a 2004 model. We've had this thing for 16 years. I bought it for her when she was 12. She's 28 now. And I've offered several times over the years to get her a bigger quad. And she's not big, she's 5'2". So, and she rides the snot out of this thing. But anyway, she has always declined getting a different quad. She loves this little thing. And I understand it is a barrel fun to ride. Over the years, it's gotten to where the clutch or the belt is slipping. I wasn't exactly sure why. I've never taken the side cover off one of these things before. And I had to rebuild the carburetor. So I went ahead and pulled all the plastics off, pulled the air filter off and all of that to get to this. And it's a little bit of an involved process to get in there to get that belt off. It's not bad, but having never done it before and going through it the first time, it's quite a learning experience. When I got into it, I wasn't sure if the belt was slipping. The belt, it's a Mitsubishi. I don't know if it's the one that came in this quad originally or not, but I had assumed that it had thinned down and it was worn out. When I pulled it out, it didn't look like it was too worn, but it was old and it was hard and it was sort of brittle. But anyway, to get the thing off, I pulled the secondary clutch off the bike to separate it, to separate the sheaves so I could get the belt off of it. If you guys are anything like me, and if there's more than like 3 parts with 2 screws that hold it together, I need pictures and arrows to put the thing back together with the video. There were parts on this that were stuck together. When I took it apart, I took it piece by piece out. And one interesting thing is there's one left-handed threaded nut on it that you have to get out with a 34mm impact socket, which I had to order a socket just to do that. Anyhow, when I took the parts off of the clutch, laid them on the table, and saw how they went together, I didn't realize that there were some pieces that were stuck together. I'll show you. I think I will. Yeah. There's all these pieces. This right here, the centrifugal force clutch, that when this thing spins, these things slide out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It's got a pretty strong, this is the right-handed or the left-handed nut that holds this together. I'm going to show how all this stuff goes together when I do it. There's also a spring that goes in here, which I don't have in it yet. But this is the clutch wheel. And these things spin out. When this part spins, this right here, this is weighted, it's on a pivot, there's 3 of them, and these things spread out and hit a drum. Now what did I do with the drum? Okay, here's the drum. I'm going to show how all this stuff goes together, because when I took it apart, there are 2 of these little friction discs that go in there. And I took this drum and put it on my lathe and spun it so that I could scuff up this surface right here where those clutch pads fit against. So, but anyway, I'm going to show how I did this. When I took it apart, one of these things had stuck to the inside of this drum. And when I put it on my lathe, it stayed there. When I took it off the lathe and put this part with the rest of the other parts that were in order, this thing fell out. And I didn't remember taking but one of these things out. And then I started looking around for an exploded view, which I couldn't find one anywhere. So I bought the service guide to learn how to put this thing together, and it does not have an exploded view in it. And it's going to be good for things like quantities and torque specs and maybe some discussions on some things, but as far as putting this clutch back together, it was useless. I couldn't find anywhere on YouTube anybody who had done this and shown how to do it. So I'm going to fill that gap, and for anybody that did it, I apologize, but I couldn't find you. But I'm going to show how this thing goes together in case you have this problem. Now, the other issue, I ordered the belt from our favorite rainforest source. It came in, and I ended up wanting to send it back. I haven't sent it back yet. But I did the measurement on it, and it is smaller than the worn out belt that I took out of this quad. I contacted the guy who sold it, and he said it's an aftermarket part. And looking in the manual only lists the width of the belt, nothing else. I'm going to set this up in the kitchen, and we're going to take a look at those belts. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we are in the kitchen now, and this is a handy dandy little book that I got with specifications and whatnot in it. This is a copy of the exploded view. I'll post this in the video as well. Okay, I'm looking at specifications for these parts, what the wear limit is. Clutch shoe thickness, 2.5 millimeters. So that's this guy. Zero that out. Now, get down on the base. Now I've got to get underneath where the glue and all that stuff is and get there. That's 2.65. So that's still within spec. Let's make sure they all are. It's hard to get underneath the glue on these things because the glue is real thick underneath the shoe material. .74. .56. That's got to be right. So this is still within spec. Now, let's see. There's one that's oh yeah, the clutch wheel ID is 110.5 minimum. That's this guy. Let me put this down. It's 110.05. This is hard to do. $110. I'm gonna get the bore gauges, see if I can do it that way. Okay, next is the clutch wheel ID, 110 to 110.15 standard. The limit is 110.5. Let's see. That's 110.06 or 04. Does that show? So that's well within spec there. So these two are going to be okay. They're within spec. These are the three belts. This is the belt that came off of it. See, it's the Mitsubishi. Let's see if I can get this here. Does that show up? Yes, 27601 40B01. The spec on the belt, let's see. Belt, there it is. The belt width is 17.6 to 18.6. This is the belt that came off of it. And the only thing they give is the width. They don't give a thickness. And this is a 17, right at 17.61. So it looks like it's right on the edge of not being wide enough. Also, look at the thickness of that. That is 10.36 millimeters thick. This is the one that I just ordered. It's also a Mitsubishi. 17.84. So we're good there. And the thickness, 9.72. Almost 10 millimeters. 9.67. So it's just a smidge thinner than this one. This is the aftermarket one that I ordered from our rainforest source. That's its part number right there. In the first place, look at how thin that thing is. It feels wimpy. 7.45, 7.5. Oh, 6 points. Oh, I'm down in the valley there. Let's get there. 8. 8.1. And this one's 10 point something. 10.15. 2 millimeters thicker on that one. Also, the width of it, 16.8. What's the minimum belt width? I looked at this wrong. The minimum belt width Let's see, where's the belt width? Draw belt width. This is nominal, 17.6 to 18.6. The limit, the minimum, is 16.7. So I looked that up wrong. And this guy right here, .64 wide, 16.74. So that's 4/100ths of a millimeter wider than the absolute minimum. So this thing right here is junk. I wouldn't put this on a quad, not at all. .14 millimeter. These are already pretty loose. Okay, we are now going to try and put this thing together. Got the shoes that are together already. Got to put the spring on it. Everything from here to here is already together. From the spring all the way out to here is what I have to assemble. I got to put the belt on it. So I'm going to try to set that right there so I can see it, make sure. Okay, and these are directional. Now this bike spins backwards. You've noticed this back wheel. If this spins backwards, the wheels spin forward. See that? If you watched Musty do this, he got in deep doo-doo because he was trying to start the engine. He had the engine all done, the carburetor rebuilt, and he had assumed that the motor spun forward, and he put this big drill on the motor and was spinning it forward, and when it kicked back and it injured him. And it was pretty ugly. Okay, let's get the sheave. See if we can get this on here. I hope I can. There that goes. Okay, that goes in. Now what goes next? The spring. All of this stuff right here is already on there. Now we got to put the spring and the friction thing. That goes there. This goes on. And I've got 2 of these clamps here. I hope this is going to work. I can get something back there to hook the thing to. Yep, I think I do. I'm going to try to line this up and get it over the shaft. And get okay. That side's on. See if I can get. Whoops. Gotta get that square lined up. That looks like it should go. Let's hope this one. Shit. I knew this was going to be a pain in the ass. Get those square hickeys. It'll go. Come on. Fit over that. Damn it. Okay. There it goes. I gotta get enough. To get that backwards threaded nut on there. This is a left-handed threaded nut. I wonder if I should put Loctite on that. I'm not sure. It didn't have any when it came off. They didn't say anything about putting it on there. This is a real thin nut too. Okay, that's started. That's started. Now I gotta get my 34mm socket and its drive. Drop that. Cool. Now, yeah, good ratchet. I don't know how I'm gonna hold that. I'm not sure. There's some paint marks on that. There's one there, one there, one there on the inner shaft. I've got one of these things. Let's see, which way does that go? Does it go this way? I think it goes the other way. I hate these things. No, it's got to go the other way because this is a left-handed. Don't you come off of there. It's got to go this way. Because I've got to press it this way. Okay, those two paint things line up right there then. Okay, next. All this assembly is there. That's that backwards nut. Now we need to put this thing. That's this guy. And a friction plate. I got a number 17 here and a number 17 here. This 17 here is the one that got lost when I took this thing apart because it was inside this drum. Okay. That goes there. Then the drum. Another friction plate. Then this thing. Make sure I get that on there the right way. Then that goes in there. Comes up on those splines, and then this nut goes on. I think this is a 17mm. It is. Okay. And it's free spinning, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay. get this on here again. See, I'm going this way, so this has got to go this way, so I think this has to go this way, right? No, it's the other way around. How many dumbass pills did I take today? They probably make a special tool to do this. Okay, that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do, I believe that's on there. I haven't snugged this thing down completely yet. I need to look up the torque spec, get something to hold this. But I may be able to fire it up. I don't know. I've got 2-stroke oil in it. Let's see. Turn the choke on. Oh, I gotta turn up this switch over here, which is where I probably need to turn fuel on, don't I? Give her a little shot. Throttle body air intake cleaner, that would probably work. Let's see if it'll fit. Where's that dead game switch? This switch is a pain in the butt. Okay. I need my 2-cycle oil. What did I do with it? I couldn't tell if the thing was spinning or not. I gotta go up the other building and get my 2-cycle oil. I'll be right back. Okay, I got some 2-stroke oil. Let me turn this off for the time being. Fill this line up. Okay, this going down to the carburetor. Make sure the carburetor is turning on, not leaking. No, it's leaking. I can get it to fire though. pull that carb off again. Oh boy, yes, that's what I wanted to see. Now all I got to do is snug up that bolt right there to whatever its torque spec is and put the cover back on it. I've got the new cover gasket and some gasket maker, and that'll wrap this thing up. Looks like I got to pull the carb off and check that seat again. Looks like it's leaking. Well, sure smoked up the place. What I use to hold that thing, this is a spanner wrench. It's used for setting the height on my old Camaro, the coilover shock absorbers. So you set the coil height with this thing, and it worked. It just fits right in there, goes all the way around, and then I can get a socket on that nut right there and snug that thing down as tight as I could get it. I couldn't find a torque spec on it, but that sucker's tight. He's got to work like a champ. Okay. Darwin, what are you doing, Mike? Darwin always has to make an appearance. Darwin's the official shop kitty. You've already been fed. Oh, you want to go inside now? Stinks in here, doesn't it? You can go in. There you go. Washer. Nut. Nut. What this is? Gotta park this over there, bring the other car in. Darwin, you do that every time. You going in? Done for the night.